Okay. Chapter 9. The Writing on the Wall. What's going on here? What's going on? Attracted, no doubt, by Malfoy's shout, Argyros Filch came shouldering his way through the crowd. Then he saw Miss Norris and fell back, clutching his face in horror. My cat! My cat! What's happened to Miss Norris? He shrieked, as his popping eyes fell on Harry. You! He screeched. You murdered my cat! You killed her! I'll kill you out! Argyros! Dumbledore was arriving on the scene, followed by a number of other teachers. In seconds, he had swept past Harry, Ron, and Hermione and detached Miss Norris from the torch bracket. Come with me, Argyros, he said to Filch. You too, Mr. Potter, Mr. Weasley, Miss Granger. Lockhart stepped forward eagerly. My office is nearest, Headmaster. Just upstairs. Please feel free. Thank you, Glittery, said Dumbledore. The silent crowd parted to let them pass. Lockhart looked excited and important, hurried after Dumbledore, so did Professor McGonagall and Snape. As they entered Lockhart's darkened office, there was a flurry of movement across the walls. Harry saw several of Lockhart's in pictures dodging out of sight, their hair on rollers. The real Lockhart lit the candles on his desk and stood back. Dumbledore laid Miss Norris on the polished surface and began to examine her. Harry, Ron, and Hermione exchanged tense looks and sank into the chairs outside the pool of candlelight, watching. The tip of Dumbledore's long, crooked nose was barely an inch from Miss Norris's fur. He was looking at her closely through half-moon spectacles, his long fingers gently prodding and poking. Professor McGonagall was bent almost as close, her eyes narrowed. Snape loomed behind them, half in shadow, wearing most particular expression. It was as though he was trying hard not to smile, and Lockhart was hovering around all of them, making suggestions. It was definitely a curse that killed her. Probably the transmogriffin torture. I've seen it used many times. So unlucky. I wasn't there. I know the very cancer curse that would have saved her. Lockhart's comments were punctuated by Filch's dry, racking sobs. He was slumped in a chair by a desk, unable to look at Miss Norris, his face in his hands, much as he devastated Filch. Lockhart's comments were punctuated by Filch's dry, racking sobs. He was slumped in a chair by a desk, unable to look at Miss Norris, his face in his hands, much as devastated Filch. Harry couldn't help feeling a bit sorry for him, though not nearly as sorry as he felt for himself. If Dumbledore believed Filch, he would be expelled for sure. Oh, having your cat killed. Dang, that's gotta suck. Dang, so many people to feel sad for. Dumbledore was now muttering strange words under his breath and tapping Miss Norris with his wand, but nothing happened. She continued looking as though she had been recently stuffed. I remember something very similar to happening in Awagadugo, said Lockhart. A series of attacks, the full stories in my autobiography. I was able to provoke the townsfolk with various amulets which cleared the matter up at once. The photographs of Lockhart's on the walls were all nodding in agreement as he talked. One of them had forgotten to remove his hairnet. At last, Dumbledore straightened up. She's not dead, Argyros, he said softly. Lockhart stopped abruptly in the middle of counting the number of murders he had prevented. Not dead, choked Filch, looking through his fingers at Miss Norris. But why is she all stiff and frozen? She has been petrified, said Dumbledore. Oh, I thought so, said Lockhart. But now I cannot say. Ask him! But how, I cannot say. Ask him, shrieked Filch, turning his blotched and tear-stained face to Harry. No second year could have done this, said Dumbledore firmly. It would take dark magic of the most advanced. He did it! He did it! Filch spat, his pouchy face purpling. You saw what he wrote on the wall he found in my office. He knows I'm a Filch's face worked horribly. He knows I'm a squib, he finished. I never touched Miss Norris, said Harry loudly, uncomfortably aware of everyone looking at him, including all of Lockhart's on the wall. And I don't even know what a squib is. Rubbish, snarled Filch. He saw my Kiki spell letter. If I might speak, headmaster, said Snape from the shadows, and Harry's sense of foreboding increased. He was sure nothing Snape had to say was going to do him any good. Potter and his friends may have simply been in the wrong place at the wrong time, he said, a slight sneer curling as though he doubted it. But we do have a set of suspicious circumstances here. Why was he in the upstairs corridor at all? Why wasn't he at the Halloween feast? Harry, Ron, and Hermione all launched into an explanation about the Death Day party. There were hundreds of ghosts, and they all tell you we were there. But why not join the feast afterwards, said Snape, his black eyes glittering at the candlelight. Why go up to the corridor? Ron and Hermione looked at Harry. Because, Harry said, and his heart thumping very fast. Something told him it would sound very far-fetched if he told them what led there by bodiless voice that no one but he could hear. Don't lie. I know it sounds unbelievable, but, I don't know, just lying will always... They'll always find out the truth, and then you'll just be in more trouble because you lied. because, and then all that. Because we were tired and wanted to go to bed, he said. Without any supper? Said Snape, a triumphant smile flicking across his gaunt face. I didn't think ghosts provided food fit for the living at their parties. We weren't hungry, said Ron loudly, and his stomach gave a huge rumble. Snape's nasty smile widened. I suggest, headmaster, that Potter is not being entirely truthful, he said. It might be a good idea if he were deprived of certain privileges until he's ready to tell us the whole story. I personally feel he should be taken off the Gryffindor Quidditch team until he's ready to be honest. Really, Severus, said Professor McGonagall sharply. I see no reason to stop the boy from playing Quidditch. This cat wasn't hit over the head with a broomstick. There's no evidence at all that Potter has done anything wrong. Dumbledore was giving Harry a searching look. His twinkling white-blue gaze made Harry feel as though he were being x-rayed. Innocent until proven guilty, Severus, he said firmly. Snape looked furious, and so did Filch. My cat has been petrified, he shrieked, his eyes popping. I want to see some punishment.